We have kids from age 5 up to 18. It's just very similar to the swim meets. And the difference here is that the younger kids will do 3 dives. Now they have to do different dives. They have to do, for example, a front dive, a back dive. A lot of the kids do flips. When you get into the older age groups, then the kids are really doing more difficult dives. For example, the 11, 12s and the 13, 14 age group has to do 5 dives. Now they all have to be different dives, so they have to learn different elements, they have to learn how to go forward, backward, inwards, twister dives, and reverses. There's 5 different categories. You know, we have a few of the kids, I guess, who have gymnastics experience, and so they come to the diving team already knowing how to do flips, do twists, point their toes, keep their legs straight. You know, diving is all about form, and it's about looking good in the air. You know, as you're flying through the air, you have to look good. You know, so if a kid is doing say a 1.5, which is a flip into a dive, then we want to see them tuck up their legs and then kick out and go in with pointed toes with as little splash as possible.
5, 4.5, 5.
And then what happens is you're going to see that we have 5 judges who are going to judge each dive on a scale of 1 to 10.
Remember, there's a range for a reason.
Most people have seen the Olympics before, and if you watch the diving, then a lot of times they're getting scores in the 8s, the 9s, and sometimes an occasional 10. So obviously we're not at that level quite yet. This is just youth diving. We're having a good time here. It's a fun league, and but yeah, there'll be scores from
5.5,
typically in the 3 to 7 range. Some of the older kids will be possibly, if they do their dives correctly, hopefully we'll be getting some 7s and 8s.
Tell me about a couple of the kids who are having a good season so far, or who we can look out for.
Well, you certainly want to look out for the 8 and under boy. He's going to be going very early in the competition. His name is Rocky Ramslin, and he started with us last year, and he was, like me when I started, very raw. He liked to get up there and do a lot, just have fun. He didn't care if he smacked his back or anything. But then over the past winter, he did winter diving at the University of Delaware, and he's really, you could really tell a huge improvement from last summer to this summer, and he's definitely one of our top divers.
5.5, 6.
Then in the 11-12 girls, we have Amanda Kretschmer. She's also a top gymnast in Maryland. She started with us last year just to have some fun with us, and she's really come along well. She's learned some difficult dives, and she's got great form. But her probably most difficult dive is a back somersault with 1.5 twists. So that's where she's combining both the flipping action with the twisting action. You get a lot of oohs and ahs out of that, and then when we get into the older age group, you'll see some pretty cool dives as well. The kids are doing a lot of flips, a lot of doubles, 1.5s, back 1.5s, and twisting dives.
6.5, 6.
It's a pretty good feat just to participate, because the kids are putting their bodies on the line here, and you might see a few go wrong, unfortunately, where if you've been watching the warm-up, sometimes you'll see a kid, they're trying new things, and sometimes they might, they're trying to do a 1.5 and they do a 1 3/4, and that doesn't feel too good for a little while. Unfortunately, this is a sport that's kind of gone by the wayside over the past 10, 20 years, because a lot of the clubs have pulled out their diving boards for insurance reasons. The cost is too high, and it's a shame. We used to have one of those high boards here, and they took that out about 5 years ago.
What about the league? Is there there's a league that you guys compete in?
We're part of the Central Maryland Diving League. Currently there's 12 teams in the league. We're the only team in Harford County. What I wanted to do, give the kids of Harford County an opportunity to try a different sport. This is what I grew up doing, and I did it all the way through college. Now, I was lucky enough to be at a swim club in Baltimore County, which happened to have a diving team, and a coach pulled me aside and said, "Do you want to be on the diving team?" And Had no idea what that meant at that time, but I just like going off the board, doing flips and doing crazy things. And so I was fortunate enough to have a coach work with me and teach me the right way.